Yeah. All right. Well, moving on down to these early season quarterback injuries, because now we have Burrow, who we hit on, Purdy, who's got a toe as well, JJ McCarthy, he's out with an ankle, Justin Fields, he's dealing with a concussion. So a bit of injuries, getting beat up. It happens in the NFL through 2 weeks. That's who we got. Coach, to you and that group, who's the biggest deal, maybe outside of Joe Burrow, who we all know?
Uh, well, Brock Purdy being out, is a problem, but they've got a competent backup. And to me, that's the thing now. You need that number two guy to be able to step in. He might have to play 1 or 2 games during the year in a crucial situation. I have to applaud Minnesota. They looked at their situation. They went out and signed Carson Wentz before the season started, saying, I've got to have somebody there to turn to if my number one guy goes down. So I think that who are these number two guys who are going to step in and play?
Yeah, and what about Jaden Daniels, your guy, coach in
Yeah.
Washington? I mean, we talk about how important he is and his ability to run and just how well this team plays, both on offense and defense, when he's at the helm. So I think for me, that's the biggest injury because, I mean, this team has a legitimate chance to make a deep run in the playoffs. And without him, I think they're just a solid team.
Well, and not even without him, Rob, but you make a great point. Let's say he plays, but he's not as mobile. He's not running because of that knee. And that takes away a lot of what they do and a lot of what makes him special. So we definitely need to keep an eye on that one.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Carson Wentz, and he's got to be one of the most interesting studies in the league. From he was hyped up, he was paid, he was supposed to be the next one, all those things during the Super Bowl year. He really built the early part of that regular season for them. And since he's bounced around and has sort of become viewed as a backup quarterback coach, I mean, what do you think has happened from where he was in the hype train to where he is now getting this opportunity for the Vikings?
I think it's confidence level, one. And then secondly, I think you've got to have the right type of offense around him and put an offense together that matches his skills and what he can do well. When you're the starter, that happens. I'm going to craft the offense around you. If you just come in as a backup, you've got to run the offense that Patrick Mahomes ran when you backed him up. You've got to run the offense with the Rams. So he hasn't, I don't think, had a chance to be involved, and he won't be even now. This offense is built for J.J. McCarthy and what he does. They do a lot of the similar things, but I don't think he's had that chance to be the guy.
Yeah, and I think head coach Kevin O'Connell will kind of adjust the plays and some of the things that he does well and say, hey, Carson, okay, what do you like to do? What do you want to do? What are some of the things? And he'll incorporate that. So having that veteran experience, having a guy like Carson Wentz that's played a lot of football, seen a lot of things, you don't have to panic. He's not a great quarterback, but he's good enough to come in. Guys going to look at him and have respect for him because of his work ethic and his professionalism. So they're going to play hard for him. And he's going to make some plays. The biggest thing is for him, once he gets comfortable, I think Carson Wentz can be solid. I think he can do a solid job just like Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones is playing like an MVP right now. But I'm saying that I do believe that Carson Wentz can come in and provide him with some veteran leadership.
And you make a great point when you talk about Kevin O'Connell, because we've seen him do this with Sam Darnold, with Josh Dobbs, with other guys who have come in, and he said, this is what they do well. I'm going to put him in positions to accentuate his positives. And if he has a chance with anybody, this is a golden opportunity.
Absolutely, Coach.
Sixth different team he started for in 6 seasons for Carson Wentz at this point. You look at that, you go, dang, 6th team in 6 seasons. So there he is, and he's in Minnesota. And there's still no piece of you. Rodney, you just said Daniel Jones playing like an MVP. 1 year, $14 million. There's still no piece of you that goes, hey, Kevin O'Connell, maybe as an insurance policy, we let him back up J.J. McCarthy. Still no piece of you saying that.
Yeah, but what Coach told me, Coach said, Daniel Jones didn't want to go anywhere where he's going to be the backup. I just think Minnesota in their heart, and they wanted to push this young guy. They wanted to play this young guy, and I think Daniel went to the perfect place. I think Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones is a perfect fit. They have this big offensive line. He's got big weapons around him. They can run the football. They got a really solid defense. I mean, he couldn't have gone to a better situation, Coach, Daniel Jones.
I agree. And Minnesota, the Vikings, they wanted Sam Darnold, no question about it. They wanted Daniel Jones, but they wanted them as backups. They wanted J.J. McCarthy to be the starter, and they wanted those two guys as backups. Sam Darnold says, I can go make money and be a starter. Daniel Jones said, I don't want to be a backup. Let me look for a place where I have a chance to start. So I don't think it was the Vikings not wanting them. It was the fact that they had made up their mind that J.J. McCarthy was going to be the number one guy.
Thank you, Coach, because he keeps beating me up. I mean, it's been the last 3 days. He keeps beating me up about, oh, they should have kept Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones did not want to play behind this young quarterback.
They wanted to keep him. Yes,
I got you, and I understand all the points, but money aside, I still want the best quarterback. I don't give a damn about the money. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. And right now,
well, that's the question.
Quarterback. Yeah. J.J. McCarthy is third on that list by a substantial margin. And quite frankly, I'm not sure that he's ever going to even surpass either one of those two quarterbacks. Wow. And those aren't necessarily elite quarterbacks we're talking about. And he might. We're talking about 2 games here. It's very early on. But he has 7 quarters that are red flags. And he has one moment there in that fourth quarter. I don't want to take it away from him where it was a green light. It was a green flag. You go, okay, this looks like something. But everything else would make me worried if I'm Kevin O'Connell. And his demeanor on the sideline felt to me like he was a little bit concerned on Sunday night. And so that's all that's coming from, Coach.
No, and that is a very good question. You set your hierarchy. J.J. McCarthy's going to be our guy no matter what. That's a statement. We saw the other side of the field. Atlanta paid Kirk Cousins. He was their number one guy. But they told us, we saw when Michael Penix came into training camp, we saw a guy who gave us some hope. And they made the decision in midseason, we're going to flip it, and we think this guy is our future. So making those decisions and figuring out who the right guy is important.
Yeah, and it's easy for us to look at games in 7 quarters and judge this and that. But when you have a young quarterback as an organization, you already understand, hey, we're gonna have a really good defense. We're gonna surround him with a bunch of weapons. We're going to try to run the football. They tried to improve their offensive line. They still got guys injured. These are some of the bumps and some of the ups and downs that you go through with a young quarterback. And as an organization, you can't panic and say, oh, my goodness, this guy's the wrong pick, because we didn't know that Daniel Jones was going to play as well as he's playing right now. And then we saw what Sam Darnold could do during the regular season, but we also saw what Sam Darnold couldn't do in the postseason. He looked terrible, and that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So I wasn't discouraged when they let Sam Darnold go. I said, yeah, Daniel Jones could be a good backup, but I knew that they wanted to push this young kid. And, sometimes you got to live with the ups and downs of a young quarterback, Coach.
Right. And a lot of teams do that. The Tennessee Titans said Cam Ward's our guy, and we'll find out if he's good or if he isn't, but they're going to plug him in. Minnesota said J.J. McCarthy's our guy. Yeah. But the problem is Minnesota was a 13-win team last year that expects to go to the playoffs. So now when you're kind of trying to see if the quarterback's the guy, and everybody's saying, but what about our team? We just lost the game that we needed to win. That's when it becomes problematic.
Coach, what was Peyton Manning's record as a rookie? Just tell me that.
3-13. Yes.
How many interceptions did he throw?
Set a record for rookie quarterbacks. Yes, 27.
And just think if they would have panicked. Oh my God, Peyton Manning was terrible.
He's not the guy. He's not as good as we thought he was. He's not the guy. Yeah.
That's Jack, the general manager, though.
Okay, but let's say this: Peyton Manning. He's one of those examples. How many other first-round picks? The Trey Lances of the world, the Sam Darnold with the Jets. How many other first-round picks have teams? They have a bad team. They have a young quarterback. It doesn't work. They look like they got it completely wrong. And all of a sudden guys go, in the NFL, they don't give you 2 or 3 years to fix it. It's like, if it doesn't start happening or showing progress, all of a sudden the coach's ass is on the line and they're about to get him out of there. And so for Kevin O'Connell, it's like at some point, let's give this thing 8 weeks or 10 weeks. But if it continues to be rocky road, these questions are going to be asked. And so they're 1 quarter away from it being really loud right now. He kind of saved that at the end of the Chicago game. But I do think that there's going to be more pressure, to Coach's point, given that how good this team was with Sam Darnold, whether they did it in the playoffs or not. They were outstanding in the regular season with Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold.
And the question may come up, Carson Wentz goes in there and plays good football, and they win their next 3 games. J.J. McCarthy's ready to come back in the lineup. What do you do then? That'll be interesting.
Okay, if that happens, what do you do, Coach?
I'm playing to win. I'm leaving Carson Wentz in.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
I agree.
I'll tell you what, this is why the NFL is so damn fun, isn't it? I mean, this is it. Because you try to make a financial decision and go, we don't want to pay Sam Darnold $100 million because of the playoff game or whatever the reason may be. You know, we don't want to pay Daniel Jones, even though we really like Daniel Jones. I mean, we all heard they really liked Daniel Jones, but they wanted to give JJ a shot. They wanted to give him a shot, but they didn't really know outside of practice what he was.
But they didn't want to make the financial commitment that the Giants had previously made. You know, you say, okay, I'm signing this guy to a 1-year, $14 million deal. Well, you can sit him on the bench and he's making $14 million. But if he's making $30, $35 million, guess what? He's the starter. So if Minnesota would have said, hey, Daniel, we want you to be our starter. We're going to have this young kid learn from you. We're going to sign you to a 2-year, $60 million deal. We'll guarantee $50 million of it. And whatever happens after that, it's a free competition. And Daniel Jones would have probably been more likely or more open to do something like that. But when you offer a guy that was making $40 million a year, $14 million, you're basically saying, hey, we're going to give this young guy every single opportunity to be the starter. And if you're Daniel Jones coming from New York, a place where people just pound on him, now he wants to get away from that. He wants to be in a more stable environment. Indianapolis Colts is the perfect place because he knows, he watches tape. He knows that Anthony Richardson can't play. He's not a good quarterback. He's a phenomenal athlete, but he's not ready to play. So I thought that was an excellent, smart move by Daniel Jones choosing the Indianapolis coach and the coaching with Shane Steichen, Coach.
Yeah, and basically what happened to him is Minnesota said, hey, we love you, Daniel. We want you to stay here and be the backup. Indianapolis called and said, we love you, and we want to give you a chance to compete to be the starter. Yes. that was it.
Which one would you take, Jack?
I understand that. What I'm saying is, if I'm Kevin O'Connell, I'm going, listen, we're going to, whatever the Colts are offering you, we're right there with that. We're going to pay you that same amount of money. And this is going to be an open competition.
It wasn't about money. It's not about money. It's
about wanting to play, right?
Compete. Do I have a chance to be the starter, or have we selected our starter and I'm the backup?
And the only reason
in what world, real quick, does it make sense to say, why would we not have a quarterback competition? Why, if Daniel Jones is going to be better than J.J. McCarthy, why would we not want to play the better quarterback? Like money aside,
we didn't know that though. We did not know that, Jack. That's what you don't understand. We didn't know what Daniel Jones we're getting. Now you put Daniel Jones on a team that has the right pieces. He never had a great offensive line in New York. He didn't have Alec Pearson, those guys, Downs, and those guys, that talent, Tyler Warren, a Pro Bowl running back, 2-3 Pro Bowlers on the offensive line. He didn't have that in New York. So to me,
I get that, but Minnesota saw him. Minnesota saw him in their system, in their practice, so they saw him in that setting, right? I mean, that they know who he was in their building.
Yeah.
So the only reason I mentioned money, because Daniel Jones say it's not about money, but if there's a financial commitment, a legitimate financial commitment, 2-year, $60 million, $30 million a year, guess what that's telling me if I'm Daniel Jones? They want me as the starter at quarterback. Am I lying, Coach? Is that
money? What money tells you is, are they telling me the truth? Hey, we're going to give you a chance to compete, but we can only pay you $5 million. Well, no, you're not telling me the truth. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And JJ was coming off a serious injury. So my only point was, in the same way Kirk Cousins was coming off a serious injury and you bring in Michael Penix, it's an insurance policy at the most important position by a mile. I mean, it's the most important position by a mile. And I'd rather have 2 guys there in that room that have a chance to play and win games with than one that I'm not sure about. And I'm afraid that they've got themselves in that situation with one that they're not sure about. All right, we move it on down. What a fun discussion, though. And the more success Darnold or Daniel Jones have, the bigger that this whole thing is going to become.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.